Hello again, tactical YouTubers. Dub here. Today I want to talk about the knife in the middle here. This is the mini AK-47 by Cold Steel. I had a buddy of mine on here, the Lock. He asked me what I thought of it when he saw me use it in one of my videos the other day, and I told him, I said, well, just give me a day or two and I'll put you out a review for it. So that's what this is. So let's get some specs out of the way. This is a 2 3/4 inch AUS 8A blade with the Teflon coating, black Teflon coating. Of course, it came from the factory, razor sharp, just like all Cold Steels, and in fact this is probably the sharpest Cold Steel I own from the factory. So very nice job, Cold Steel. Its overall length is 7 1/8 inches long, and it weighed in at just under 3 ounces, at about 2.9 ounces, so you know, average weight for a EDC knife. Like I said, the blade's super sharp, hollow ground starts pretty high, nice point, strong, strong point, nice point, but a strong point. It's got the Emerson wave opening ramp there. Gives good purchase for the thumb. One thing to mention here, if you look here, this corner here, you can't flick it very well. You would normally do this to flick the knife open. You hit this corner here, so you almost have to kind of go around that corner to open it. So you have to, it's not a very good thumb flicker. But I usually open the knives with my middle finger on the back, and I just kind of flick it out. Of course, I ain't got enough room to do it here, but flick it out like that with my middle finger on the plate rather than my thumb. And that works just fine. So, not a complaint. Just an observation. If you look at the wave feature there, you don't have much room to catch your pocket between the plate and the spine of the knife. If you look at the old AKs, they have, you see that space there, how much space you got there compared to here? So there's not much room to catch, but I haven't had any problems with it. I've heard of other people having problems getting it to wave. I don't have any problem at all. Of course, it locks up like Fort Knox. I mean, it doesn't move at all. I mean, it's amazing how tight it locks up. So, no problems there. Of course, it's got the G10 handles that are super textured. We all know how textured, just like on the Recons and all that. That's some really aggressive texturing. So aggressive, in fact, it tears your pocket up when you put it in your pocket, which is my one complaint about this knife. It'll tear your pocket up. So, of course, like most everyone else who owns this knife, I took a Dremel. God, sorry about that. I took a Dremel here and sanded that down a bit, and so it would slip in and out of the pocket a little bit easier. Also, the pocket clip is reversible for tip up, left or right only. And of course, because of this pocket clip being curved like that, they include a second one, because on this side it would curve towards your lock. So they include a second one that's curved right for the left-hand side, which is nice. It's got, of course, got the triad lock. Like I said, super tight, super strong. You can put all kinds of weight on the blade, and it's not gonna fail on you. Release is quite. I mean, look at how high up the lock bar comes. I mean, that really locks into that blade. So, super locking system, love that. Decent lanyard hole, average sized, I'd call it. Thin enough, ergonomic for me. I got small hands, but the handle's plenty fine for me. I've got a Spyderco Tenacious here to compare the handles, and they're practically the same handle. I mean, the same length of handle. So, if the Spyderco Tenacious is comfortable, the AK will probably be comfortable. I would say if you had gigantic hands, it might be a little bit small, but it doesn't bother me with my fairly small hands at all. One thing to mention is the blade to handle ratio. There's a lot of handle for that 2 3/4 inch blade. If you look at the Tenacious here, like I said, they have about the same handle, but look at how much more blade you're getting with the Tenacious. So that's it's not a problem, it's just, different. It's a design thing, which doesn't bother me. In fact, I like it because it adds to how mean and bad the knife looks, which I like. This isn't a sheeple knife. I mean, this isn't a knife you want to take out around, you know, normal people and be opening things, because it is kind of aggressive, but it is a cool looking knife, that's for sure. Other than that, I mean, there's really no other problems I have with this knife. I've put this knife to quite a bit of work. The Teflon coating has held up pretty well, as you can see there. But, I mean, I don't really know anything else to say about this knife. It's light enough, it's comfortable enough, it's sharp, for darn sure. It's got the wave feature, which I love. It opens easy and smooth, locks up super tight. I mean, it's a solid knife, and at the $50 price point, as compared to the $80 or $90 price point of the full-sized AKs, it's a great knife. It's you know, of course, it's more of an EDC knife than the full-sized AK, but it can serve both purposes. Whereas with the full-sized AK, that blade is tactical only. I mean, you're not gonna. It's not as much of an EDC blade as your mini AK. See how much more narrow and how much sharper the point is. But so it's a much better EDC knife than the full-sized AKs, especially the old AKs, which is all I've got to compare it to. Size-wise, you know, that's the difference in size of the AKs. But anyway, guys, that's about all I've got to say about it. You know, the one problem is the texturing. It tears your pocket up. Other than that, and it's sharp because I cut myself on my last take somewhere, just opening it or shutting it, one of the two. I think I shut it on myself. So it is sharp. It's a good knife. In fact, I give this knife a solid B+, maybe an A-, because this is one of my favorite knives, to be completely honest. I mean, I know it's not the greatest knife, but I like how it looks a lot. I like how sharp it is you know, I like how strong the lock is. I really love it. So I suggest everybody buy one for the $50 price point. You know, any more than that, you know, the full-sized AK at $80 or $90, you know, whatever. But the mini at about $50 is well worth it, in my opinion. It's a great knife, and you know, it's going to last for a while because it is very sturdy built. So if you have any more questions, Locke or anybody else, let me know. Hope I covered everything you wanted to hear. You know, usually in my reviews I'm pretty critical of a knife, so I have a lot of bad stuff to talk about, but I'm just kind of stumbling on what to say about this knife because I do like it so much. I don't have anything bad to say. So I guess I will stop rambling now. But like I said, any questions, let me know, guys. Thanks for watching, and y'all be careful out there. Arrivederci.